first, let's give an introduction. You are Leslie Elliott, CEO of PE-backed pool cleaning company Poolie, longtime former management consultant and operations and revenue leader at various $100 million to $1 billion companies around Austin, Texas. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you went through a very interesting career transition a few years ago, and you told me this after you had had several glasses of wine, almost like a secret of, I think I'm going to go do this. And I was like, and you're like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. And I thought, no, you're as usual. You're like literally the fucking smartest person in the room and like gonna get this done. And like, yeah, you'll be fine. And actually, I think this is a good idea. But take us back to the point at which you had a real job and you were considering leaving that real job to go clean pools. Why?
Ultimately, it was about wanting to build my own thing or have control of what I was doing. For me, coming out of like the last two operating roles, they were great opportunities. I learned a ton, but I didn't feel like I could be in the role or the space fully for various reasons, whether it was politics or policy or differences in opinion or strategy. I felt like I was doing my job with one hand behind my back. And you know me, I'm slightly competitive. I like to win. And like do your job with one hand behind your back or just do it the way we say to do it because that's how it needs to be done wasn't a great environment for me. And I probably over rotated on the like, cool, I'm going to go from the corporate job ladder and I'm going to go clean pools. But that was kind of the headspace that I was in. I'm like wanting to go do my own thing.
Why pools? Because I think I know what you did, right? So I think telling people, it wasn't just like you woke up, was like, I'm gonna clean pools. I mean, you did something to arrive there. What was that?
I did. Talked to, when I kind of decided I was leaving last role at WorkRise, I had talked to one of the co-founders and had kind of said, I think I want to go do something different. And his advice was actually to go start a source fund and find a company to buy. And a lot of what I've been doing in the last role was integrating companies and building this platform and starting to like grow these small businesses that were coming in. And he was like, you're good at that. You like to build, go find something to buy, get some investors and like go build a company. So that's where it started. And it was sort of a moment of like, I guess I could do that. And I hadn't really ever thought about that as being a career step or like the thing to go do next. And decided I was interested in that. And then I spent many, many months reading about many different things, every business for sale that I could find, different perspectives and different tear sheets. And I kept seeing all these like route-based businesses for sale. And I don't know how many phone calls I had on different businesses, but I kind of got to the point where like I kind of kept coming back to pools. And part of that was, I had the hat on of a business operator or in like a PE roll-up space where if you looked at the industry, it was super fragmented and it wasn't consolidated yet and it's recurring revenue and it had all of these like things that you would look for on paper in an industry. And then the other half of it was I put a pool in like everybody else during COVID. I couldn't find good service in Austin and seemed like an underserved market. And it also felt like something like it's not people's dogs, it's not their kids, it's not taking care of their relatives. So like if I'm going to do the small business thing, sure, like you're still in somebody's backyard, but there's also a lot less like people to people interaction with a pool than there is grooming a pet. So as I was looking at different businesses, it just kind of kept coming back to it. And then that coupled with, what I was looking at on paper, it's like, well, I guess I'm going to go do it. Pools it is.
So we'll leave our small yet loyal audience hanging there because when I've been saying for years, I should just go do a podcast. When I start doing that, you're going to be a guest and then you're going to take us from that point all the way through now. The punchline is a year. Don't say it because I want it to be a punchline. A short amount of time of you, now you're PE backed, you've got a big budget and you're doing what I would call nothing. I mean, you're just doing like the most rapid acquisition path across Texas to try and build Poolie.com. So if you need your pool clean, Poolie.com. All right, now let's talk about the sisterhood of the traveling pants. You and I, around I'd say what, a little before this time last year.
Yeah.
No, actually it's before that. It's like 2 years ago. Let's just say roughly. Both of us were like, this is really hard to do, to build a business without some other like things. And so we have done two things. One is, as you started to build Poolie on your own, you came in and did work at Keenan Reed. You gave me the single best case study I have, which I tell in every new networking conference. I have a slide. I don't think you've seen my slide. But what you did was like classic 9-figure growth opportunity going south. Leslie comes in, finds the root causes, turns it around quickly. Thing is successful, grows, she leaves. Okay. I want to ask questions about that. The other thing we've done is we haven't been biweekly in the last couple of months because we've both been busy. We will get back to that. We've been biweekly, what do we call it? Business building partners, where we go get a taco or a pedicure and we sort out the shit that you can only sort out with in a safe space, which has been obviously more successful for you so far than me, but I think I'll get there. Look, they're just like different acquisition models. Okay. So it'll be fine. Why did you choose to accept my begging offers of you coming to do work for us? And what did that do for you during this kind of period of transition in your career?
Well, I'm going to say that both of those things are actually related, and that I found first year of the business, one of the hardest things, or maybe the thing that I missed the most, was having like peers or teammates to bounce things off of and to problem solve. So the like role of being small business owner means you have like 85 different hats to wear and you have to play all of the different roles of the company, and you have no peers. Like you have no partner, you have no other department head you can go talk to about something. And that was challenging, especially coming out of like relatively, professionally challenging environments for, the last almost 20 years. And so I think A, you asked, and B, I wanted to use that part of my brain that I didn't feel like I was using when I was, running payroll or figuring out how to file state taxes every month, or some of these like very, very transactional things that you have to learn running a business, but are not necessarily like fun problems to solve. And so I was definitely craving I need to use my brain on something different. I want to be around other people again, and I want to be in a problem solving space. And that was certainly true with the work, but then also that's definitely one of the things that I've appreciated about our time too, is like A, the safe space, but B, also talking to somebody very directly about running your business and the challenges and being able to like bounce those ideas off of each other.
Yeah. I think when we have our conversations, well, a couple things. One, you, in your consulting work with us, you took on a huge problem, probably a bigger problem than we typically come in to solve. The other thing I will say is, like, I think when we have our business building conversations, you know what the answer is. I know what the answer is. It's just you need someone to be like, okay, of course that's the answer. Stop like overthinking it. Just go do it. And you're like, okay, fine, I'll go do it. And that's hard to do without having someone to go talk to in your office,
Yeah, you can only talk to your wall so many times, or if your wall's not going to tell you to go do it. So
yeah, you can't ask and in my case, like I certainly can't bring this stuff to my clients, right? Like my clients don't get that part. They don't pay for that. They pay for me to help them with their problems, not for them to help vice versa. So it's different than in a typical job environment. Well, great. Well, you have had wonderful success. We will kick off our sessions again, you mano a mano or mana a mana, I think in 2 weeks. Back to the ladies at Cherish Nail Salon in Austin, Texas. We are the only people in there like not talking about their dog or tennis or something. We're like there at 11 o'clock on a Thursday, and everyone in there is like, what the hell is wrong with these two people? Like crazy. Anyway, thank you for doing this.
yes,
And I will see you soon.
sounds great.